Hey everybody, welcome back to another video with Gem Mint Masters. I got a pretty exciting one for you here today. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time, but I really had never gotten around to it, I guess, and I guess the right opportunity had never presented itself as well until now. So um, before me here, taking up pretty much the entire screen, you can see I recently purchased a collection of Michael Jordan cards, literally all Michael Jordan cards. I wanted to kind of test the waters of purchasing collections and, seeing what I can do as far as like raw to grade, finding some value and stuff like that, because that's really my MO on this channel and how I do it. And I came across this pretty awesome Michael Jordan collection on Facebook, and it was somebody about an hour away from me. So, I got a lot of good pictures, did some back and forth with the guy. He was the original owner of all of these cards. So these are all his cards from, many, many, many years of collecting, probably even decades. A lot of 90s stuff, mostly kind of lower end, nothing too super valuable, but in a graded state, they really are valuable. So, or can be valuable, I'll say. So I've already gone through this whole thing, so I'll keep it a little bit short on this video, but I think I'm gonna make multiple videos for this and kind of just showcase my process here and kind of how I've done this. So I'll just talk quickly about the collection, what's in here, and then on the next videos we'll really get into more of the specifics around each card and all that stuff. So what I got these cards about a week ago. I've gone through all of them probably multiple times, and I've sorted them. So at this point, from here, they're all sorted by the light card. Lots of duplicates in here, which isn't a bad thing, because it gives definitely gives me something to compare these cards to. So lots of duplicates, lots of really, really high quality cards was the coolest thing, I guess I would say. He took really great care of these cards. Super sharp corners on almost every single one. So as you know, like with a lot of 90s cards, I think the other thing you kind of run into and worry about is surface condition. So the more you take it in and out of a case or a sleeve, or if you don't have it in a sleeve, which some of these were like that, probably from back in the day, where you just put it right in the top loader, not in the sleeve. The more you take them in and out, the more you get scratches on them and stuff. But I will say I was pleasantly surprised at the condition of these. Every single card gradable? No, I would say. But I've already gone through them, I would say 2 times of each card. First time through, I was very picky, and pulling out the ones I thought were gradable. And then I went back through again with, kind of more of a fine-tooth comb, and looked at some of the obvious things like centering, as well, because again, like I said, I'll kind of just pull out a section of cards here and kind of show you one in particular that I think looks really good at first glance, but then when you take kind of a closer look at it, you start to see, here it is, okay. You'll start to see kind of other things popping out. So, all right, so here's an example. 93, 94 Fleer Michael Jordan base card. I mean, there's a ton of them in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that I've kind of deemed at this point not on the grading list. But I think I've probably got in these 2 stacks here. These are the cards I've already gone through and graded, or not graded, but deemed ready for grading. There's probably 6 to 10 in there too. So we had about 20 of this one card in here. But again, you look at, let me find a really good kind of example here on a card like this. So here you go. Great centering all around, sharp corners on the back. A lot of these have white backs too, so I looked at them kind of under the light just to see. Cards with, you know, black corners or backs were a lot easier to see damages on, but I definitely looked very closely at pretty much all of these cards. But as you can see, like, this one looks perfect, right? Super sharp corners, great. But there were just kind of minor surface issues here and there on some of these. And it's tough because, again, these cards are pretty old. I mean, there's another greatly centered copy. Here's another one that's really good. A lot of this stuff, again, look great. But it's like, if I've graded 90s stuff before, and it's a bit of a crapshoot. It's tough. It's hard to get 10s. It really is. So this is this is definitely a risk in doing this collection. But I would say this is something I've always wanted to kind of try out. So you know, mix in a little bit more risk, and then go for some stuff that's pretty stable. So I'll give you kind of a peek at this collection real quick, and then I'll end this video here, and then I'll do another quick one on the stuff I'm going to be grading. So just kind of show you what's in here. Again, a lot of 90s base, but like stuff like this, you know, it is just a base, but it's the true base card, and that's the ones that I would say in this box have a lot of value. There were a ton of this Stadium Club as well. I think that's the 93 Stadium Club. So everything in this section to this white marker here, I've kind of deemed as like what I call higher end. And when I say higher end, I mean, you know, in a PSA 10 copy, you're looking at 100 to 200 bucks. So again, you got a bunch of that Fleer, 93 Topps, a whole bunch of those. This one was tough, man. This was, centering was definitely an issue on a lot of these, but the surface too, it just gets so easily scratched. I think I only pulled maybe 2 clean copies of that one. When I say clean, I mean like like immaculately clean, because again, all of these are great. I mean, they have tons of great sharp corners, look really good. Like even this one, I mean, it looks good for the most part, but I'm just, at this point on the first round of grading, I'm just not willing to take a risk on everything. So here's 91 Fleer. This one is a tough one to get a PSA 10, so I think I pulled a few of those out. And what I'll probably do is, if I don't end up selling this lot, I'll probably go back through it again once I submit this first round of grading and just see if there's any, you know, based on how I do, see if there's more that I think are worth it. So whole bunch of this Skybox. Those actually looked pretty good. It'll be interesting to see because that's all white front and back. Ultra, got some more Topps base, and this Topps base. Centering on that one, I just deem that the centering left to right just way too far off for me to even bother with, but it's looked great otherwise. That's what's tough. Something like this, you got the gold borders, easy to spot flaws. I didn't even bother with those, but that could be something maybe in the future, depending on how close it is. I mean, a lot of these older cards had like full white borders. Like these all look really good, but just some very small things, and I'm just a little iffy. But here, let's see. I'll find kind of something on here like you can see on that one. That top left, that's going to be a tough one for me to do. It's kind of chipping on there and stuff. This right here is a set that looked really good. I think there was like, these 3 copies even looked amazing, but there was like some kind of line on the back or something, and I wasn't going to do that one just yet. And then kind of to round out the high end, we've got a lot of this, and these are very well centered for the most part, but just didn't get a ton out of those. All right, so we'll get through this a little quicker. Again, you're seeing a ton of the same stuff here. Got some hoops, Topps. But again, like I said, I'm glad that there were so many duplicate copies in here, because it gave me a lot of things to compare to. This 92, 93 Fleer. This set looked great. All the like you usually see a lot of chipping on the corners, but man, these look really good. So it's, like I said, it's hard to say like where I draw the line on which ones I want to grade, but I may just come back through them again. A whole bunch of this right here. I mean, look at that. There was like 40 of this card in here, which again, I pulled some really great copies out to start, but we'll probably see some more later. More hoops, whole bunch of this card too, whole bunch more of the Fleer. There's a couple different variations of this one. Man, this was just such a fun purchase, and just great to see these in like really good condition. I was just definitely, and there was, I think, like 30 of this card here. Game Faces. I kind of remember this back in the day, but man, I mean, look at all those. It's nuts. All right, so that's kind of like where from here like on, I would call that kind of the mid-level, and then right here I'm kind of calling low end. So there was a lot of cards in here like these ones here. I don't even know if, I mean, they're good condition. I just don't know if they're worth grading. A lot of these all-star cards. You got this like cartoonish MVP. I think there was like 40 of that one. Let's see. Whole bunch of the hoops. I mean, look at how many of these there were. Crazy. I don't know a ton about this set. This is like Upper Deck MVP, I think it's called. There was a whole bunch of those in there. A lot of this hoops, 91, 92. Those are such a kind of like junk wax set, but it's crazy though. If it's a Jordan card, they still go for a decent amount. All right, so again, a whole bunch of those, some more of the Skybox. I think this year of Skybox, Michael Jordan had like 6 different cards in there. So a bunch of those. Again, here's more of that hoops. Centering on these were tough. If you can look left to right, I mean, it's way off. But I don't know. I mean, I kind of looked up some PSA 10 copies of that, and they look like they were pretty far off center, but I don't know if that's what they use as a centering gauge, or now that the standards have changed in centering, I'm a little iffy on doing that. Whole bunch of this one. Got some more Upper Deck. Tops, active leaders. There's another one of those Skybox variations. Man, this is like bringing back tons of memories for me as a kid too. I had pretty much all these cards. It was crazy. What did I do here? What did I do? All right. Let's just go through these again. Thanks for sticking around if you have, just to see what these are. A whole bunch of that. Ton of this card here too. This is the Hang Time. That's such a cool card. That's like $100 card in a PSA 10. So again, it's like there's some real good potential in this lot. A bunch of this All-Star. Man, this guy did an amazing job collecting a lot of these cards, and just so many different variations of them. More All-Star. We got some tops. He had a bunch of different variations in that set. And this one as well. You got All-Star, League Leader. I think there's even 1 or 2 more in that set that are cool. More All-Stars. You got the All-Star in this top set. Man, it just goes on. But the fact that these are all Michael Jordans, I was just like, man, that would be so cool. Whole bunch more. 50 Point Club. All right. And then I'll go through this last stack. So these were ones that were kind of a little more obscure. There was probably 50 of this card in here, Magic versus Jordan. This particular year in Upper Deck, it definitely was known for, at least from my experience, from what I've seen on these, is just some minor surface scratching. And it's like, it's really hard to say if I want to take the risk and submit some of these, even though the corners are sharp and all that. More Skybox, some more Upper Deck. So these ones here, they're like Chicago versus Portland. I actually found a few in here that don't even have Michael Jordan on them, so that was kind of funny. Like, I think there was like 1 card in here, 2 cards that just weren't even Michael Jordan. But yeah, so a whole bunch of this one here. And then this kind of funny card. This is the front of it, actually. I think there was like 50 of those in there. So that's one I looked it up, and it's like a $20, $30 card. I'm not even going to bother grading these, but there's probably some super clean copies in there. And then you got ones like this. I think that was the one. Didn't even have these 2, I think, don't even have Jordan on them. So there's one with Pippen. And then just a couple of random ones there. But super fun find. Got pretty lucky, I would say. But yeah, so I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. I'm probably gonna put out a series of videos. Like I said, this was just to kind of show what's in here. I'll do another quick short one and show you which ones I am gonna be subbing on my first order. And then again, like I might just take more time, go over this, and I'm a little tempted to go out and see if I can find any more collections like this, but man, to find them in this condition, I know it's gonna be tough. I got super lucky on this. So thanks for joining me. That's my Michael Jordan collection that I purchased. Stay tuned for more videos on the journey of where these cards go and grading, and pretty big risk I'm taking here, but I wanted to really try this out and see. I think the reward is definitely worth it. So I'm gonna have fun with this, take my time, and kind of see how we do. All right, until next time, thanks for joining me. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. See you later.